Good morning and Jai Hind children. I welcome you all in today's live class of chemistry. Children, as you know that we are discussing the chapter structure of matter. And in previous class, I have explained you that about atomicity and valencies of elements. So I hope that you understood those topics and revised also. Now today I am going to discuss some other important topics of the chapter. And the topic is writing a formula. Writing a formula. How we can write the formula of compounds or other groups or elements. So simply for writing the formula, we must have to know the two things. The first one is symbols. Symbols of different elements and the groups. We must have to know. Then we can easily write the formula. And the second important thing that we must have to know is their valencies. If we know these two things, so simply we can write, easily we can write the formula of compounds. And when we are going to write the formula, so we must have to follow the three important steps to write them. And the step one is write the symbols of the different elements which are present in the compounds one by one, side by side. So suppose if I am going to take the example carbon dioxide. So in the first step, we will write the symbols of the elements which are present in carbon dioxide. And you know very well, carbon dioxide, the two elements that is carbon and oxygen are present. So write them. C is the symbol of carbon and O is the symbol of oxygen. Now after writing them, write their valencies at their top as a superscript. So the valency of carbon is 4 and the valency of oxygen is 2. This is our first step. Now in second step, we will simplify these valencies by using a common factor. So the valency of carbon is 4 and the valency of oxygen is 2. So what common factor we can take for this 4 and 2? Yes, it's 2. So while taking as common factor 2, we will simplify it and we can write it as 4 will divided by 2, 2 2s are 4 and 2 will divided by 2, 2 1s are 2. So in second step, we will simplify them by taking a common factor and in third step, we will exchange these valencies of the elements and write as the bottom, not at the top. So this valency of carbon 2 will exchange and come to O, oxygen, and the valency of oxygen, that is 1, will come to the bottom of carbon. Like this. But one more thing. If the number of atoms of any element is 1, so there is no need to write it 1 because only C indicates the 1 number of atom 1. If number of atom more than 1 or valency is more than 1, then it need to indicate. But the 1 valency is not need to write as 1. So we can write it as a formula CO2. This is our formula of carbon dioxide. Understood, children? Okay, now take some more example. Ammonia. If you want to write the formula of ammonia, so simply follow these three steps. In ammonia, the two elements are going to take part. That first one is nitrogen and the second one is hydrogen. So we will write them side by side. Now their valency. The valency of nitrogen is 3 and the valency of hydrogen is 1. So we'll write these valency as a superscript at the top. Now the second step, simplify them. So the valency is 3 and 1. So the common factor will be 1 and it remain the same. Now in third step, we will exchange these valencies. So the 3 will come to the H and this 1 will come to the N, nitrogen. And as already I have told that if the valency will be 1 or the number of atoms will be 1, so there is no need to write the 1 because that N indicates the 1 atom. So the formula of ammonia is NH3. Understood, children? The formula of ammonia, how we can write? Yes, there symbols of elements, then we'll put the valency as a superscript, then we will simplify it and exchange the valency and we'll get the formula. Now take one more example of compound. Aluminium sulfate. This is a compound in which the one element, that is aluminium, and a group are going to combine chemically. So the element and sulfate group. The symbol of aluminium is Al and the formula of sulfate group is SO4. So we will write them side by side. Now we'll put the valencies up there at the top. So the valency of aluminium is, yes, 3 and the valency of sulfate is 2. So we'll write them as the superscript. After them, we'll simplify them by using a common factor. So 3 and 2. The common factor will be 1 and it remains the same. Now exchange these valencies. Al2 and whole thrice sulfate whole thrice. So Al2SO4 thrice. This is the formula of aluminium sulfate. And just like that, you can write more and more the formulas of different compounds. Now, in your book, we have a table in which number of examples are given. So we'll practice them, we'll discuss them one by one. So you can easily understood to write the formula. In the first column, we will write the name of compound. In second column, we will write the name of elements or groups with their valencies. And in the third column, we will write the formula. Okay, so the first compound is hydrochloric acid. Children, this hydrochloric acid is having two elements, that is hydrogen and chlorine. The valency of hydrogen 1, valency of chlorine 1. Now the formula will be HCl, because after exchanging the valencies it will be 1 and we not need to write the 1 there. Now the second example is sulfuric acid. Sulfuric acid is having an element and a group. The element is hydrogen and the group is sulfate. Valency of hydrogen is 1 and the valency of sulfate group is 2. Is it? Now exchange the valency and we will get the formula H2SO4. This is the formula of sulfuric acid. Now the next example, nitric acid. The element hydrogen and the group nitrate is present in nitric acid. Now the valency of hydrogen is 1, valency of nitrate is also 1. Exchange the valencies and we'll get the formula, that is HNO3. Next, sodium carbonate. It has the element sodium. Its symbol is Na. Yes, and the carbonate is a group. Yes, children. And its formula is CO3. That already we have discussed in our previous topic. So the valency of sodium is 1 and the valency of carbonate is 2. Exchange the valency, we will get the formula Na2CO3. So this is the formula of sodium carbonate. Now the next example, potassium hydroxide. It have the element potassium, that is K. The symbol of potassium is K and hydroxide is a group and the formula is OH. Now the valency of potassium is 1 and the valency of hydroxide is 1. Now exchange the valencies and we will get the formula, that is KOH. So potassium hydroxide have the formula KOH. So children, I hope that you understood these all examples in which I have shown you that how to write the formula. If you know the things like symbol and valency and the steps to write the formula, so easily you can write the formula of all compounds. Now, come to the next topic. Children, our next topic is chemical equations. As you have studied the equations in mathematics, so here the same term is going to use equations, but it's a chemical equation. It's not the mathematical equation. Chemical equations. Simply the chemical equations are the way to represent a chemical reaction in which we are going to write the reactants and products in a proper way. So that representation will termed as chemical equation. So there are three important points that you must have to know to write the chemical equation. The first thing is that between the reactants and the products, there should be an arrow sign. The sign of arrow must be put between reactants and products. Second thing, reactants must be written in left hand side. So this is the left hand side, and this side we will write the reactants of chemical reaction. And the third thing is that the products that will form, they always written in right hand side. Yes. So between reactants and products, there must be an arrow sign. Reactants must be in left hand side and products must be written in right hand side. So these things we must have to remember to write the chemical equation of any chemical reaction. Okay, children? Now, take some example. As we have studied that when iron is going to react with sulfur, so the symbol of iron is Fe and the symbol of sulfur is S. So they both will be termed as reactants and the reactants are always written in left hand side. So this is iron and this one is sulfur. And what I have told that between reactants and products there must be a arrow sign. Yes. And after the arrow we will write the product. So the product that will form is iron sulfide. FeS. Iron sulfide. So this will termed as a chemical equation in which we have represented the reactants, that is iron and sulfur are going to react, and after the reaction what product is going to form? Iron sulfide, and we have indicated it by using a arrow. So this will termed as a chemical equation. Get it, children? Okay, very good. I hope that so you just do more and more practice to write the chemical equation with the help of your book. Now come to the next. As I have explained you about the chemical equations. So correct chemical equation will only be considered as correct when the number of atoms of different elements which are present in reactants and in products, means left hand side and right hand side, then that chemical equation will consider as correct, and such a chemical equation is termed as balanced chemical equation. Okay, so our next topic is balancing a chemical equation. balancing chemical equations. Now children, as you know that in chemical equations, left hand side and right hand sides are written there in both the sides, and between them arrow is there. So if I am going to take the example of the molecule of water, so as you know that the formula of water is H2O. So this is one molecule of water, and this one molecule of water is going to break into the products, that is hydrogen and oxygen. So this is the reactant and these are the products. So we can say that it is a chemical equation. But this chemical equation, is it correct? Check it. In left hand side and in right hand side. Hydrogen atoms are 2 and oxygen atoms are 1. In right hand side, hydrogen atom is 1 and oxygen atom is also 1. So we can say that the chemical equation is not correct. Now come to the next. As we know that the hydrogen and oxygen, remember children, in previous class I have explained about the atomicity. So some of the elements are not existing independently in the nature, and hydrogen and oxygen are also the atoms, are also the elements. They are not existing in individual atoms. They are always found in combined form, that is the two atoms together. That is why they are considered as diatomic elements. So diatomic means, yes, the elements who are found always combined with two atoms. So this is the correct form of hydrogen, because hydrogen is a diatomic element. So H2, and oxygen is also a diatomic element. They are not existing individually. So this will be incorrect. Now they are existing as in pair form. So this is the correct form of hydrogen and oxygen molecules. Is this equation now correct? Check that. In left hand side, hydrogen atoms 2 and oxygen atom 1. In right hand side, hydrogen atoms 2 and oxygen atoms are also 2. So we can say that the number of atoms are not equal in both the sides. So this equation will also consider as incorrect equation. Now again I am going to write it. The one molecule of water have the one molecule of hydrogen and one molecule of oxygen, as the number of oxygen is not equal. So we can write here 2. Now after writing 2 here, the number of atoms of oxygen becomes 2 in left hand side, and right hand side we already have the number of atoms of oxygen 2. But as we have written here the two molecules of water, the number of hydrogen atoms get increased. Now the hydrogen atoms becomes 2 to the 4. And in right hand side we have only number of atoms of hydrogen 2. So we can write here 2. The two molecules of hydrogen and the one molecule of oxygen, they are going to form when two molecules of water break. Now this is the correct equation. These both equations will consider as incorrect because in these are the number of atoms of these elements are not equal in left hand side and right hand side. But in third one, the number of atoms of all the elements are equal in both the sides. So this chemical equation will consider as correct and it is termed as balanced chemical equation. These are unbalanced, these are incorrect, that is why. And as it is balanced, so this will termed as the correct chemical equation. So children, I hope that you understood how to balance the chemical equation. Understood? Is it? Okay, now take some more examples. As we know that nitrogen and hydrogen, they both are going to combine chemically to form ammonia. But in this chemical equation, if we count the number of atoms of these different elements, so we will find that it's not the balanced. The chemical equation is correct that the nitrogen molecule, as the nitrogen is also diatomic element, so the two atoms of nitrogen forms one molecule of nitrogen. Hydrogen is also diatomic element, so the two atom of hydrogen forms one molecule of hydrogen. So we can say that nitrogen and hydrogen molecules combine together chemically and form the ammonia. This statement is correct, but this chemical equation is not correct as LHS and RHS is not equal. As the number of nitrogen in left hand side it's 2 and number of nitrogen atom in right hand side is 1 only. Number of hydrogen atoms in left hand side is 2 and the number of hydrogen atoms in right hand side is 3. So we can say that this reaction is unbalanced reaction and that is why it's incorrect. So we need to balance them, and for balancing simply we will increase the number of molecules to balance it. Okay, so come one by one. First we'll look at that the number of atoms which are required to balance them for both the elements. Nitrogen and hydrogen. As hydrogen is 2 in the left hand side and 3 in the right hand side. So we want that to get a common number by which the hydrogen get balanced on both the sides. If we increase here the number of molecule, as the one molecule have 2 atoms. If we will write here the 2 molecules, then we will have the 4. And if one molecule of ammonia have the 3 atoms of hydrogen, and if we write it 2 molecules of ammonia, then hydrogen will be 6. Then it also will not consider as balance, because now it's 4 and now it's 6. So what we can do? We will write that the number of molecules of nitrogen, ammonia is 2 and the number of molecules of hydrogen will be 3. Now, the number of atoms of hydrogen are equal in both the sides. 3 to the 6 and 3 to the 6. Is it children? Now, as we have increased the number of molecules of ammonia, so earlier the number of atom of nitrogen was 1, but now in 2 molecules it will be 2. And in Left hand side we already have the number of atom of nitrogen is 2. Now just see that. Both the side, left hand side and right hand side. Is it equal? Nitrogen. Left hand side 2. Right hand side 2. Hydrogen. Left hand side 6 and right hand side 6. So now they are equal and now we can consider this is the correct chemical equation or balanced chemical equation. Understood, children? I hope that you understood. So you will do more and more practice, then easily you can understand to balance the chemical equation. Thank you and have a nice day, children.